I started with a vision rooted in a real problem. Caregivers drowning in the daily complexity of tracking medications, vitals, and patient behavior across multiple patients. The app needed a name that felt both clinical and approachable. PillZone was born. When I handed Replit the spec, it didn't just read it, it thought out loud. Before writing a single line of code, I gave my vision to Replit. A 3-role permission system. Patient, caregiver, admin. A relationship to tie users to patients to medications, and a mobile-first interface that caregivers could use with one hand while tending to a patient with the other. It decided to build the database schema, API routes, and mobile app simultaneously. An ambitious parallel build that paid off when everything clicked into place. The teal and green palette was never in the brief. That was Replit's creative instinct, and honestly it worked. The color choice felt clinical without being cold, which is exactly the tone a caregiving app needs. The login screen landed first, clean and branded, and from there the scaffold went up fast. A 3-tab navigation. Home, patients, profile. Per patient deep dives into medications, tracker, vitals, and notes. And a separate admin panel for managing users and assignments. The first real test revealed the first real friction. Logging in as admin. The first order of business was creating a new patient and adding a new caregiver to the system. Which is straightforward enough. But the moment it came time to connect the two, to actually assign that caregiver to that patient, the workflow fell apart. It was buried and confusing, making admins hunt for something they should be able to do in 2 taps. So Replit went back in and changed that flow entirely. Assignment controls moved directly into the patient action sheet. Staff showed up as toggleable cards with live checkmarks. And every patient card now surfaces its assignment status at a glance. To put it to the test, we navigated to John Doe's patient profile. The Assign Staff option was right there. No digging required. Tapping through, the staff list appeared. And selecting the right caregiver took only a moment. One tap confirmed done. Then we pivoted to Jane Doe. And this time the destination was her vitals panel. Blood pressure readings, heart rate logs, and blood sugar entries. Then came the real workflow test. A new caregiver, Billy Bobs, was created. A new patient, Carl Cruz, was added and assigned to Billy. Metformin 500 mg once daily was logged for Carl. And when Monday morning rolled around at 9 a.m., the caregiver marked it taken. The tracker captured the timestamp. What this entire session proved is that Replit is a remarkably effective tool for walking through a real user journey. Prototyping the ideal workflow before a single line of production code is committed. Rather than speccing everything out in a vacuum. The back and forth of building, testing, hitting friction, and iterating in real time surfaces the kind of UX problems that no requirements document would ever catch at an early stage. The Assign Staff confusion. The navigation buried behind extra taps. The vitals panel accessibility. None of those would have been obvious on a whiteboard. They only showed up when someone actually tried to use the app. One small but telling detail surfaced at the very end. The Done and Create buttons were sitting at the top of the form. Technically functional, but ergonomically wrong for anyone using a phone with one hand while managing a patient. It's a minor fix on paper, but it's exactly the kind of detail that separates a prototype from a product caregivers will actually trust in the middle of a shift. A fix worth making before the next round of testing. Pill Zone is off to a strong start. The bones are solid, the workflows are taking shape, and the real user journeys are already revealing what needs to be refined. The best part? Every friction point found here is one fewer frustration waiting for a caregiver on the floor.